afternoon. My name's David Knight. I'm a Regional Development Officer for the Business Gateway. I want to talk about starting a business, but not necessarily in the old-fashioned way of choosing a business career and being there for the rest of your lives. When I was a lad, enterprise was never an option at school. I was an inner city school, and we were just designed to be going out there and getting a career for the rest of our lives. My father only had 2 jobs in his life. I've had about 6 or 7. My goddaughter's had about 12 and she's 21. It's a changing world. People are moving on. So what I want to talk about is the kind of businesses, the kind of enterprise initiatives that you can do part-time, maybe for a small part of your career plan, or maybe as part of the gap year. So I'm going to give you some examples, but I'm also going to talk to you about the way that the organizations, the agency twonks like myself and Mark and various other people can help you realize that. So even if you do have another career plan, why not look at exploiting a skill or a talent that you already have and maybe make some money out of it? Somebody already mentioned looking at self-employment, running a small enterprise, however small it is, gives you some life skills, communication skills, handling money, which you can put on a CV. It was actually interesting. I ran my own business, quite enjoyable business, selling ladies' underwear for some time. But my first few jobs, I never put that on the CV because I thought employers were really looking for the monthly wage slave that I eventually turned into. It's flexibility. You can do things in the afternoons, you can do things in the evenings, you can do weekends. We've got businesses who've run their operations as cart boot sales, just a bit of buying and selling. It's a great way of meeting people. Even those businesses who are almost entirely eBay based are communicating all the time with contacts, generating the network that everybody else has told you is so important. You might even make some money, small amounts of money as it comes through, and hopefully that will develop into a larger income generating opportunity. The younger ones of you here probably have very little to lose. Again, when you're sort of fat and 50 like me, you have mortgages and family and various other things. So the penalties are probably slightly more apparent than they are when you're young, free and single. So how do you start? Everybody in this room will be good at something. Everybody in this room has a skill, a talent. You're in an educational establishment that will be providing you with the training and qualifications that you need to exploit as a business. Experiences. Some of you around here, within the creative industries, with musical, with artistic, have gained that degree of experience. Why not exploit it? Why not try and sell some of those skills or some of those products that you're developing? Again, the old model of selling, where you had to be in front of somebody, has disappeared. I have loads of businesses based at Straths and Glens who are selling specialist items, paintballing equipment, dinky toys, wrestling memorabilia online. They never meet their customers, they do it all online. It's done in the evenings. The paintball guy did it instead of getting a job in a bar while he was at university. So he'd get a shipment of paintballing equipment from America into his student digs, he'd parcel it up and send it out. Again, I'm talking about other forms of self-employment and enterprise, the non-standard, the non-traditional ways of going into business. The Highlands has always been very good at people having part-time businesses. Where I'm based in Sutherland, it's almost a tradition that you have 2 or 3 businesses, or a job and 2 or 3 businesses. My wife works in a hospital. Several of the nurses there have crofts. Some of them also do market gardens and things like that. It's a tradition. In fact, it's so much of a tradition, people don't even notice. Seasonal businesses. A lot of you here will have the luxury of 6 weeks, 8 weeks off during the summer. By all means, enjoy yourselves. But at the same time, look at generating some form of income. Your parents will be very happy. Gap year businesses. The guy in the photograph, David Ski there, is our classic. We normally roll him out, kicking and screaming to these things. But David had a place at Strathclyde Uni, but during the gap year, he decided to do some diving for scallops at the time. Found he could sell them. Body swerved the university place, set up his own business, has got a huge factory funded by our good friends Highlands and Islands Enterprise. Employs 9 people, turnover probably about 2 million. From a gap year, you talk to his mother, she still says you've got a place at Strathclyde if you ever want it. Another rapidly growing and important part of the Highland enterprise culture is social enterprise. Groups of people recognizing a need in the community. It's still an enterprise. There will be trading going on, there will be selling of services and skills, but the money developed from that will go back into the enterprise. There are some incredible examples of social enterprises around the Highlands and Islands, and HiSays can tell you all about them. Here's the advert, Business Gateway. Business Gateway is very, very new up here. It's about a year old, but it was officially launched last September. Business Gateway, which you may have heard about, is a national program. The way we run it here is that we are very, very one-to-one. It's the way we do it. Most of our businesses are small businesses, recognizably, but we will take the time to explore any ideas that come through the door. It's managed by Highland Opportunity, which is part of the Highland Council, and we will help research. We have a variety of tools and programs on offer. We run training courses. We have training courses in startup, marketing, online selling. We're developing courses according to need all the time. But we also work in very close partnership with other organizations, signposting to the next most relevant form of support. It's a minefield out there, trying to know where to first go if you want to explore a business idea or you want to develop your business. There are a lot of agencies out there who are more than willing to help you start your business. But what we always recommend, come to Gateway first. We'll make the introductions with you and for you. We also have a pool of 40 or so special advisors who Gateway will fund to go into your business or into your enterprise at an early date to talk to you about e-commerce, hospitality industry, agricultural, how to employ people, that kind of thing. Trying to remove all those ideas that you have in your mind, all those barriers that think, I'd like to start a business, but I don't know this. I don't know this, and I don't know this person or whatever. We will try and fill that gap for you. And we've got funding. It's limited funding, but we have our own funding in-house. So we have small grants to enable people to start. We have small grants to enable people to overcome some of the marketing barriers, specifically those you find in the Highlands where it is expensive to go to a trade fair, and we may be able to fill that gap. But there are other funders out there, specialist funders. You can borrow up with Highland Opportunity up to £250,000 if you so wish. But we will do that, help you with that signposting and getting through. For those of you under 25, Princess Scottish Youth Business Trust is a specialist organisation, one of the Princess Trusts, founded by Prince of Wales, Duke of Rossley. And it helps young people start and develop businesses. That's all it does. And it does that by, again, removing the barriers. Initial advice, funding packages, £500 grants, £5,000 loans up here. Aftercare. One of the bigger issues is you've started your business, what now? How do I get through to the mainstream? How do I develop my business? It's a bit like passing your driving test. You know, you get through the gateway experience, you get through the business planning process, but there's still a lot to learn. And if you have an experienced business person at the side of you, that person will not only help you with advice and ongoing training, but will also, and again we're coming back to it, introduce you to the network. Everybody in this building has a network, and our aftercare advisors are chosen because they know people and they are generous with their network, so they will introduce you to the Federation of Small Business, help you with get over the communications gap that you may have with the bank manager, for instance. It's probably easier than you think. As you get older, you can think of more reasons for not doing it. As you're younger, it's a lot easier to make that first step. Have a plan. Your business plan's a free format. Business plan is there primarily to tell you of where you are now, where you want to be in the future, and how you're going to get there. What are the steps? Do your research. Find out who your customers are. Find out who your friends are. And find out who your potential barriers are to you running your business properly. List them, because every little problem will have a solution somewhere. Get advice. Be honest. Be honest with yourself when you do your business plan. If you have skills gaps and knowledge gaps, write them down. It's not insurmountable. There are always ways of getting additional training or additional support or additional advice. And everybody said it, network like crazy. The people in this room, the people that you drink with, the people you play football with, the people that you regularly go to bingo with, will all have some way of helping you with your enterprise, your business, by people they know, by being able to share resources, by being able to handhold you at some time when things are getting a bit hard. So what do you do next? Okay, you've got a business idea, you've got an enterprise idea, you've found a gap that you see in the market, whether it be for a social enterprise or be it for a personal enterprise. What do you do? It's never been easier to access that first point. Within this organization here, you have Create. It's a drop-in center, and again, you know, the Carol staff, and a great way for us to get the ideas, to get you to think, especially the students here, to think about the business ideas, is Carol's business idea competition, rapidly becoming a role model for all sorts of educational establishments. It's a quick 2-page form. You put in a business idea, you enter it into the competition, there is money to be had. But not only is there money to be had, there is also links to Gateway, to PSYBT, to the next most relevant form of support. Come and see us. There's one of us in every county in Highland. It is a Highlands and Islands wide organisation. We all offer very similar things, but we do it in a different way, trying to reflect the local needs. And out there are specialists. For those of you who wanted creative industries, budding musicians and artists and whatever, for instance, High Arts, we link very strongly with them. They run regular workshops for people who want to get into the industries, be it digital media, be it TV, be it film, be it music, textiles and fashion. Next week is Go North. If you take anything else, Go North is a showcase for these. There are workshops, there are actors coming up to talk about how to get onto the stage. There are TV producers coming out, how to break into television. It's all free, it's all there. And of course, for social enterprises, Hi says, that's just the tip of the iceberg of support out there. There is no excuse for you not finding out how to establish your business, should you so wish. Business Gateway is always good for a first point of call, but if you're in the college, creates the one, and then come to us then, and then we can point you to the next most relevant form of support. So that's it. The end.
Thank you.